Welcome back to Craig's Custom Cooking. I'm going to make another video today, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a Copycat Chick-fil-A sandwich. So I'm going to show you the process, all the ingredients you got to mix together for the sauces, the breading. So let me readjust my camera. I'll bring you back and show you the process. Alright, in front of me I have a chicken breast. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut this in half flat. And the reason we're doing this is we want our chicken to be about the same size. I'm gonna not use that one, but now it's thinner. I'm also going to be using chicken thighs, so I'll show you that. So now I put it in a Ziploc bag. My meat tenderizer. And I'm going to hit this chicken breast. The reason we do that is we want it to be about the same thickness throughout. So you don't have the big puffy part. So we're going to lay that aside. That chicken breast didn't have a lot on the bottom. So the bottom part, when I split it, the bottom wasn't that great on it. These are chicken thighs. I'm not going to split them in half because they're small, but I am going to flatten them. There's a chicken thigh. I'm going to leave the fat on it. I think the fat's going to give it some really good flavor. I'm going to take the last one. I'm going to do it the same way. And I'm going to bring you back. Actually, I am going to use this one. I'm just going to trim off these pieces on the ends. Try to make it a rectangular shaped piece. So we have this one. We have one of the chicken thighs. It's the other chicken thigh. This is my other chicken breast. Now, I could actually cut this one in half because they're never going to fit into a sandwich if you leave them this big. If you like a great big piece of chicken with it sticking out both sides of your sandwich, by all means go ahead. I'm just going to cut that one in half. These other ones will be great. Alright, what I've done is I put all my chicken flat in a Ziploc bag. Now you're going to take 1/2 cup of dill pickle juice. I drained it out of my jar of dill pickles, which is not a problem because I'm going to make fried dill pickles. So I'll use up the dill pickles that aren't in the brine. You're going to take 1/2 cup of water, put it in, and you're going to seal your bag. Try to push your air out as best you can. Seal this. Now this is going to go in the refrigerator for about 8 to 10 hours. A lot of people tell you 30 minutes, 2 hours. I have always marinated it overnight. It just picks up more of the pickle juice, and then you just flip it over occasionally. So you make sure that the pickle juice is on both sides of the chicken. Now we're going to make the Chick-fil-A sauce that goes on the Chick-fil-A sandwiches or the Copycat. This is 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, Duke's. We got half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, I have 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard. This is French's. You can use whatever mustard you prefer. Got 1 tablespoon of your favorite barbecue sauce. I use Jake's. It's very smoky. It's got a really good hickory flavor to it. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of honey. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of paprika. And half a teaspoon of lime juice. That's all that goes in it. So we're going to mix this up really good and put it in the refrigerator until supper. Here's what it looks like when it's completed. Alright, now we're going to make the breading for on the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. In this bowl I have 1 cup of flour. To that you're going to add 3 teaspoons or 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar. If you change anything else in this recipe, do not omit this powdered sugar. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of MSG, and a half a teaspoon of baking powder. That's everything that goes into breading. So we're going to mix this up. There's our breading. We're going to set that aside. Now the only other thing that we got to make for this is the wet dredge, which is the same thing that I'm going to use for the pickles that I'm going to make tonight, which is a half a cup of milk and 2 large eggs. I already have that mixed up for the pickles. Okay. Here's my chicken that I took out of the bag of pickle juice and put it on a plate. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try to keep 1 dry hand and 1 wet hand. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to coat it with flour on both sides, or the mixture, and I really push down on it. That'll make sure that the breading adheres to both sides. So when you take it out, it should look like that. Then this goes into the egg wash. We flip it. Off some excess. Goes back into the flour mixture. And push down on it really good. And there is your chicken. I have wax paper on this plate. Now we're going to let it lay on that plate again, just like everything else, for 15 minutes. So it will take the breading and adhere it to the chicken. one more. I use the back of my hand, all four of my fingers, and I just press it in to the flour. Very good. So that's what you're going to have. You're completely coated on both sides. Let me finish these up. Alright, these are my chicken breasts. These two are my chicken thighs. They've set here about 5 minutes. You can already see that it's absorbing all the spices and everything into the chicken. So when we deep fry it, it should stick to the chicken very well. And you're going to be surprised. See how thin these are. When I deep fry them, you'll be amazed how much they swell up in size. So I'll bring you back when my oil's hot, when we're ready to cook them. I'm going to use my Granddaddy fryer. It's like a Fry Daddy, only this is a bigger version. And I'm going to cook one of the chickens at a time. They should cook for 5 to 7 minutes if they're thick, and about 5 to 6 minutes if they're thin. Actually, I think I can get 2 in there. Let me set the timer for 7 minutes. Let's see what they look like when they're done. Alright, these have been in for 5 minutes. I'm going to check them for temperature. They're 161 degrees. They're done. But you see how much they swell up? I'm going to recheck the other one. That was reading about 210. Alright, I'm going to cook the rest of them and I'll bring you back. Here's the chicken. I put a piece of cheese on each one of them, let it melt. This one I just took out, so it's going to take a little time for the cheese to melt down. But you can see how thick they got from the breading that was on them. So I'm going to get ready, make the sandwiches, and we'll bring you back. Alright, I'm going to show you how we assemble these sandwiches. We have 2 rolls with sesame seeds on top. These are the bottoms. So I take the Chick-fil-A sauce. And just spread it out with my spoon. We take dill pickles. If you've ever dissected a Chick-fil-A sandwich, you get like 2 pickles. I love dill pickles, so I always put more on mine. One left over, I'm going to eat that. And we're going to take our lettuce. I cut my tomatoes really thin. I don't like a great big thick slab of tomato on my sandwich. So we do that. Take one of the This is the breast, or this is a thigh. This is a breast. We bring our sauce back again. Put it on top. And that's our Chick-fil-A sandwich. All right, we'll see you at the table. Here we are. These are our Copycat Chick-fil-A sandwiches that I made. All right. We're gonna try our hamburger.
That's so big.
I don't know if my wife can get her mouth around that one, but we're gonna try. Squeeze it, dear.
Wow, so big.
Very, very good.
Love the sauce.
The sauce, the pickles, tomato. It's very ripe tomato. I actually found a very ripe one at the store.
So good.
It's delicious. I hope you guys will give these a try. The Copycat Chick-fil-A sandwich. We're going to sign off and eat our meal. We appreciate you watching. If you like our channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell for future notifications. You have a great, wonderful night. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.